The When I Grow Up Coach. What are you going to be when you grow up? Hi, everyone. As the title card suggests, it's my 7-month update. It has been 7 months, more or less, since my last day at my day job, and it's kind of blowing my mind. But I wanted to give you a day in the life, but that ended up being really boring. So instead, I want to give you a quick update as to these are the things that I've learned in the last 7 months. Okay, maybe not 7 months, but maybe since my last update, which when we were last here together like this, I was totally overwhelmed with the best challenge ever, and my challenge was that I always get this reversed. The demand was outreaching the supply. So I'm only one person. I only have so much time in a day. I can only take on so many clients, and the demand for being my client was more than the supply. So it was a very, very good problem to have. I'm still having it in a way, and it's awesome. And I'm figuring out, how to sort of make that gap smaller. That's really my goal for 2011. So stay tuned for really good stuff. But at the time I was really just, oh my God, very stressed out, very overwhelmed, very just being pulled in like 10 different directions. So what I ended up doing over the past, month and a half was the biggest thing was hiring a virtual assistant. I hired Sarah at Your Creative Ally, who I've been working with on and off for a while, and I said to her, I need 10 hours this month. Here's my money, which is tough for me to part with because, I was asking her, for the most part, to do things that I could do, and I think that's a really tough lesson for me to learn. A lot of these things that I knew that I needed help with, or that I needed to take off my plate in order to focus on, the bigger priority things, were things that I could do. I could look at, okay, which clients still owe me money. I need to send out reminders. I could, put, my client sessions in my contact management tool to make sure that all my records are kept well. I could do that. But when push came to shove, something like, say, the Declaration of You, which is my first e-course with Jessica Swift that we're starting on October 25th, blatant self-promotion, thedeclarationofyou.com. I knew that I had to be the person to write the copy and, follow through on some things and respond to emails and whatever else kind of went along with that. So it sort of became an issue of, what do I have to do personally? I have to be there for my clients. I have to write my blog posts. I have to write the Declaration of You copy, but I don't have to be the one, putting my client sessions in my calendar. I don't have to be the one, looking at the finances and saying who still owes me money. I could give that to someone that, I knew would do a good job and who I trusted, and that's what I did. So that was a really, really important step, and I think that automatically it was just like, oh, the weight had been sort of lifted. So that was really important. And the other big piece I really sort of learned is to make sure that through trial and error, I have my own system of looking at things. And I spoke a little bit about this on my post on Friday about my box of business brilliance that I've created. And here it is in the flesh. And, I'm definitely not saying for you guys to copy this or anything like that unless you feel like it's helpful. But I think that more than anything, I had to really sit down and try a few different ways of doing things to see what really stuck. And for me, my really big challenge was that I knew I needed to enforce boundaries. I needed to be a boundary enforcer, but I realized that I didn't know what my boundaries were. So for example, I knew that I needed to, when I had a consultation call or spoke with a client, I needed to be able to say, this is when we could start working together. And I didn't really know if what I was coming up with was accurate. I didn't really know, am I not free until Thanksgiving, or can I, actually work with someone before that? Or maybe I'm not free until, mid-December. It was really tough. And I still don't necessarily have like a fail-proof method, But when I really sat down to be like, okay, what do I need? What's going to help? I know I'm a visual person. I need to see this visually, but I need to be able to move things around. And I sort of, in different ways came up with my own system to look at things, and to be a good time management tool and a business building tool. And this box and what's in it, I think was a really fantastic way for me to stay on top of that and get what I need to see, visually in front of me. So I hope that makes sense. And if you want to see some of the cards and stuff, go to my post from Friday, and take a look. But don't copy them. Come up with your own stuff. You can copy them if you think it's going to be helpful. I don't have a problem with that at all. But that's what I needed to do. I needed to take a step back, and I needed to take some time too to make my box and make the cards. And I remember I spent one afternoon for like 3 hours sort of doing this, and I was kind of feeling guilty about it because I should. And anyone who knows me knows I hate that word. I should have been doing other things, but I knew that this was the most important thing for me, to get everything out of my brain onto the page and really see it. So I think those have been really the most important things that I've learned, and they're going to take me to the next phase of my business. And like I said, figuring out how to take supply and demand and sort of shorten it a little bit. And it'll be interesting to kind of see where this all goes. And I have to say, there was some time where I was doubting, like, what do I want to do next? What do I want to focus on when the Declaration of You is over and it's December? Like, what do I want to look towards? And there was a point where I didn't know. What do I want to work on? I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. And I started getting a little panicky because I felt like it was getting closer and closer, and I wanted to figure it out. And I think I just have to say that if you let yourself sit with things, if you listen to what you find yourself talking about when you get excited, when you see something and you have like a reaction to it, either positive or negative, these are all really good clues as to what's coming next. And I was able to figure out what's coming next for me by doing those things. But just, give it time. Don't rush the process. Don't rush things. And you'll find your own way. So that's my 7-month update. If you have any questions about, I don't know, leaving your job, working for yourself, anything having to do with any of this, then leave it in the comments. And thank you for being here. Bye. That was amazeballs.